So this is Russell for Let's Get Racing. I've been joined by our jockey today, Royston Ffrench, and I'm going to ask him a few questions for you guys so you get a sense of his career and what's brought him to where he is today, a bit of an understanding around the track at Kempton, and also maybe get him to give us some insights around how he thinks the race might pan out. So firstly, Royston, thank you ever so much for finding the time to speak. We really appreciate it. Royston, just a question to start off with. Can you tell us a bit about your career and what's brought you to where you are today?
Yes, morning Russell, good morning everybody. Yeah, my career has been a sort of long and very fruitful career. I was very fortunate to my uncle Errol Moore getting me involved in racing. He could obviously see the potential with me being so small and being so light. But at the time, unfortunately, I wanted to go into the military. Failed my medical miserably with being too light, hence my uncle obviously seeing the potential of size and weight. But to try and cut it short, I went to the British Racing School, won the most promising student on the course. It wasn't easy. No sort of background in racing, obviously, little black lad from Telford. It was very difficult, as in just the normal, horsemanship, saddles, bridles. It was all very new to me. So again, my uncle approached Mr. Kamani from Newmarket, got me into the British Racing School. Prior to speaking to him, he didn't really want to take me on because I was a little bit older than normal. I think I was 19 at the time, and normally you go in from school. But anyway, thankfully he did. I ended up champion apprentice in 97. Rid my claim out in 3 years of riding. It's probably a little bit too quick, but had a great career, as I still am riding now, obviously. Rode multiple Group 1 winners. My first winner was at Doncaster for Norman Babbage, Pai Akifar. Didn't remember too much of it because it was all a bit of a blur. It went too quick. But then very fortunate to ride some very, very good horses for Mr. Kamani. One was High Rise, who won the Derby. Unfortunately, I wasn't on him at the time. And ridden the German Derby winner for Godolphin, rode Al Shamali to win the Dubai Duty Free for my ex-boss in Dubai. So along with many, many others, and I've been fortunate enough to spend the last 18 years in Dubai for the winter.
Okay, and what made you make that move to Dubai for the winter season? What was the attraction?
I think at the time, I rode my claim out very quick. Obviously, didn't have that claim to offer to trainers. And after a couple of years, it was just getting very, very hard after I lost my claim. And just through the winter, it wasn't paying. And I thought, well, I need to do something else, i.e. riding through the winter. I approached Godolphin. They offered me a job, which I was very grateful for. And then while I was working with Godolphin, I got approached by my trainer that I had the job for 11 years, Ali Al-Rahi. And Godolphin was quite happy for me to go to him. And thankfully, it ended up a very, very long and good partnership.
Great. And you're going to be riding for us on an all-weather track today, so at Kempton. What would you say are some of the specific qualities of the Kempton track that you need to, as a rider, be incorporating into your thinking?
Pretty much every track, you've got to have some sort of strategy and tactics put in place. But all-weather tracks, they normally tend to ride a little bit quicker, as in pace, that is. A little bit quicker than they would do on the turf. So getting a decent position from the get-go is paramount. So you've got to really understand what everybody else is wanting to do and what you need to do.
Okay. And so as an all-weather surface, what's the underfoot surface that you're racing on?
Well, today they say it's standard to slow. So I do know the horse has won on yielding ground.
Yeah.
So the slower surface would play into our favour.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that doesn't play into our favour is the absolutely horrendous draw. So we're drawn 13 of 14, so on the far outside.
Yes.
What sort of challenges do that pose, and how do you think the race might play out?
You've got options on obviously what to do with a wide draw. Either you go forward and make the best of a bad draw, or you've got to drop in and ride for a bit of luck, which on an all-weather track it's very difficult, and you need the right splits and plenty of luck to come from behind. And also that might not be an option if your horse is only one paced, so dropping in and riding for a bit of luck is probably not the ideal thing to do if you haven't got a turn of foot.
Sure. And I think one of our experiences from last week when Risaalaat wasn't fully fit, but also from in her work, is that she tries hard, but perhaps doesn't have a fantastic turn of foot. So it might be a case of trying to get a bit handy if you can today over the mile trip. Royston, thank you ever so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to getting some feedback from you after the race around how things have gone and what suggestions you might have for Riso going forward. So thank you ever so much, Royston.
No problem, you're welcome.
Cheers.